Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much if you're returning or watching for the first time. So today's video is going to be 10 top tips if you're starting medical school this year. Just some pieces of advice that I wish I knew, and I know that would really have helped me if I knew it beforehand. So you already know what needs to be done. I don't really need to say much more, and let's get into it. So my first tip is accept now that you can't learn it all, because when you go in, you're given so much information. Your lectures may be up to 50 slides and beyond sometimes. Because your lecturers have so much knowledge, they're the experts of that field, it's only natural for them to want to give so much information, but I can assure you that you do not need to know it all. A lot of it is just kind of passing information that it's nice to know, it's nice to see, but you won't ever be assessed on it, and it's quite irrelevant. And it's something that as you go along the year, you're going to get better at making your notes more concise, making your flashcards more targeted towards things that may be assessed. So my next tip is get involved, and I mean this in every way possible. The most free time that you probably have is in your first few weeks, so it's the perfect time to join new societies, that activity that you've always wanted to start. Like if you've always wanted to join the netball team, then you know what you need to sign up to, and just put yourself out there, go to events, get yourself out of your comfort zone, because it's the best way to meet new people, make new friends. And at the start, everybody's feeling the same way, everybody's a bit nervous, they may be homesick too, and it's just a good way to kind of put yourself in a good environment where you are supported by others who may be feeling the same way. So my next tip is make use of the resources and the people that you have around you. So in terms of resources, I'm mainly talking about the library. Instead of having to buy medical textbooks, your library should have most of them. And even if they don't, most libraries have something called interlearning, where if they don't have a book that you want, then they can outsource it from other libraries and get it to you. So that's a good alternative to buying textbooks, because they can be very pricey. Like one book can be costing you £80, and I know you don't have the funds for that, I know I don't, so it's just a good way to save your money. And in terms of people, I mean the people in your year. So if you're maybe struggling with a concept or a lecture, it's good to ask the people that are also learning the same thing, see how they're learning it, and if maybe they can explain it to you in a different way. Even if it's just talking through a concept that you're struggling with, that does really help in the learning process. And it's also very good if you can make friends with older years, because they are the ones that hold the key in what it takes to pass exams, what it takes to get to where they are now. And linking back to my previous point, by joining all these new societies and picking up new activities, it's a good way to meet people in the older years. So my next top tip is ask for help when you need it, and I mean this in two ways. So academically, if you're ever struggling with a concept or a lecture, maybe a topic, then the best thing to do in this case is to email the lecturer, because they are very happy to help. That is their job at the end of the day. And the thing is, if you're feeling like this, there's probably at least 10 other people that are feeling the same. And often when lecturers get a few emails about the same thing that people are struggling with, they may put out new resources, they may hold a Q&A session. And the second way that I mean this is in terms of mental health. So if you ever start to experience mental health difficulties, then I think it's very important that you reach out early, because making yourself the number one priority is the best thing that you can do for yourself in these situations. And just being aware that yes, it may be difficult to reach out for that further support, but there are people there that want to help you, and there are services out there that can help you. You want to be the best version of yourself, and it's not nice to have to go through these things alone. There's definitely no need to suffer in silence, and just by addressing your mental health when you feel it not doing so good, you're doing the best thing that you can. So my next tip is look after yourself, and this is one where I feel like it's a bit of a self-target to myself, because there were times where I was not looking after myself, and I admit it. So with this degree, it is essential that you are thriving as much as you can be, and simple things you can do is making sure you get enough sleep, making sure you're eating enough and correctly, and just general things that sound so simple, but it's so easy to slip up on, especially when you're stressed, you've got a lot of work to do. And when you think about it, if you haven't got enough sleep, if you haven't been getting the nutrition you need, are you really going to be at your best? Are you really going to be able to attend your lectures and take in what's going on? Are you really going to be able to do your work? The answer is no. So my next top tip, and I've said this in a previous video, but it's do not dedicate all your hours to studying. And this is one where I've also had to learn the hard way, because yeah, and the thing is, with this degree, it's impossible to spend all your hours studying. Yes, maybe short term, but in the long run, absolutely not. Burnout will occur, and I'm really trying to help prevent that and make it as less frequent than it needs to be, because burnout is not a pretty thing in medical school. It's different to A-level burnout, because when you become burnout, you need to take time off, but then you're even more stressed because you got a lecture to do, you've got 3 lectures tomorrow. Every day I need you to be doing something other than this degree. Just spend a few hours a day doing whatever you want, having that time away from the books, interacting with others and doing something you enjoy. So my next piece of advice is it's okay to say no/yes. And the reason why I say no is because there's going to be times where people invite you out and deep down you know you've got a lot of work to do, you know you're behind already, and you know that you're going to put yourself in an even worse position if you go out. So it's okay to just say, I'm so sorry, I've really got a lot of work going on, can we maybe reschedule to next week when I've got less going on? In these situations, by saying yes, you are going to put yourself in a more stressful position, and it's just not worth it, because even when you're out, you're going to be thinking that work back at home it's not looking good. However, if you have had a good week, you've got all your PBL done, you have all your anatomy down, you've got everything going to plan, then there's no reason for you to say no when people invite you out or if somebody wants to see you, because you deserve to have a good time, to enjoy yourself. And if you always say no to like social interaction, then you're just putting yourself at risk of burnout and it won't end well. So I'd say that you need to find a good balance between saying no and saying yes. And it's something where as you progress, the work-life balance becomes easier to manage and you can start saying yes a bit more. So my next tip is experiment early to find your way of learning, because in medical school you very quickly realise that your A-level way of learning is no longer able to continue, because now there are no more past papers, there are no more mark schemes that you can learn. You have to kind of start from scratch. So it's very good to explore different learning methods. Are you still going to continue with notes? Are you going to become open to flashcards? Are you going to do a question and answer type thing? There's so many different ways to learn in medical school, and the more things that you try early on the better, because it's when the content is less heavy, there's less things going on, and it's just the perfect time to explore different learning techniques. And it's something where you're going to have to be very adaptable, open to change too, because even in my second year I was finding new ways to learn, and it really helped just being open to everything. So my next piece of advice is do not give up. And I say this because especially in the first few months there's going to be quite a few times where you think this degree is something else and can I do this? And you've obviously proven that you are more than capable through your dedication to medicine already, through your work ethic leading up to this point, and it's very easy to get imposter syndrome in the first few months, but you are smart enough, and I have every belief in you that you can do this. When there's times where you feel like you can't do it, then take a break, make a nice hot glass, go for a walk, and then just come back. And I have every single bit of faith in you, and I need you to have the same faith in yourself too. So my last tip is always remember that you are more than a medical student, because it's so easy to think this is my life now, this is all I am, but you will have interests and hobbies outside medicine. You will have people that love you for your personality and who you are outside medicine. And just try and remember that medical school is something that is now a big part of your life, yes, but you can have other things outside medicine and you can still enjoy your life with the degree by your side. So that is the end of the video now. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. I hope the tips and pieces of advice I have given have helped, and if you are starting this year, I'm wishing you all the very best. Just know that you can get through the year. There's a reason why you are in the position that you are in now, and you are more than capable. If you have liked this video, please make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon.